Hi there. I'm going to start with a quote. You're entitled to your own opinions, but not your own facts. Daniel Patrick Moynihan. Snuffle from Rosie. I hope you had a restful long weekend. They say that a change is as good as a rest, and for many of us, change isn't an option, so we rest. We choose our clothes based on not what fits that day or what looks good, but whether we're going to have a Zoom call or a vlog. For some, of course, it'll be business as unusual. The incredible people, healthcare workers, teachers, drivers, mail carriers, cops, people who keep us in bread and milk, who are going out into the world and working, trying to make life as normal as it can be when 2 masks are now being recommended as more strains of the coronavirus make it to our shores. Wearing 2 masks? Not a problem. I will do anything to help make the people around me safe, especially the more vulnerable, while we wait for vaccines to become available. I don't get the opening up yet, and I don't want to sound like Chicken Little, but I think we should be locking down. That's my opinion. But the science is here. The predictions for a third, even more deadly wave are too, and we seem to be heading towards it like a runaway train. Look, I understand human nature, the importance of a recovering economy, especially people getting back to work. I get that. But I don't argue with science, and I especially don't listen to people who come up with insane theories about the vaccine or even the importance of wearing a mask. A year into this chaos, there are people who are still refusing to even put 1 mask over their face holes because they are selfish. And a word that Colin's not allowed to use, stupid. Okay, how stupid? Have you heard the one making the rounds? That if a fart gets through someone's pants to my nose, well, that's proof that a virus can get through a mask. If you haven't heard this argument, you're lucky, because I have spent way too much time thinking about it. So with the help of Snopes, please allow me to demonstrate, sort of, the difference between how gas and a virus spread. The Snopes piece is linked in my written journal, petri dishes, pictures, and everything. But let me boil it down for you. For starters, people breathe far more often than they fart. On average, a person takes about 20,000 breaths per day. On the other hand, the average person farts between, I'll let you guess, 5 and 15 times per day. But here's a tip. If you find yourself passing gas as often as you breathe, first of all, that explains Valentine's Day. And secondly, see a doctor. Like right now. Don't wait to see how this ends. I'll email it to you. If these were equally viable methods of COVID-19 transmission, it's clear why health officials would focus more on getting the public to wear masks instead of pants. Clothing, of course, is already widely used, legally required, in fact, in most public places. So there's that. No pants, no shoes, no service, no shirts, no kidding. But it should also be noted that masks, like pants, prevent droplet transmission. God, I hope so. How do we know this for sure? Well, I was afraid you'd ask, but without getting into too much detail, in Australia, they have their version of Bill Nye the Science Guy, who actually measured the wind of farts, which is a much different book from the winds of war, let me tell you. Although if you've ever been subjected to a Dutch oven, you'll know it can lead to war. Look it up. But anyway, this Dr. Carl, how proud his mom must be, determined through actual science and testing by the light of a full moon, believe it or not, that wearing pants, just like wearing a mask, can lessen droplet transmission. Now, there was a story going around that the virus could be transmitted through fecal matter, but that was debunked and deemed unlikely. Well, no surprise. In the same way, a mask can prevent droplet transmission, slow the spread of COVID-19, and like pants, at the very least, it can lessen the gross factor. Look, we're smart people here. I mean, you're here, aren't you? But sometimes, if you come across a tweet or a post somewhere that makes you go, okay, yeah, what about that? You need answers. Sure, you can block or delete, and that's usually my first response. But if you think there is even a droplet of hope that some actual science might get through to a person whose whole life is about keeping an open mind to different ideas, then please share this with them. Or, you can tell them to replace that tinfoil hat on their heads with a pair of underwear. It can't hurt, and unlike their profile picture, it'll actually show the world who they really are. Have a good day, and I'll be back with you on Thursday.